Hey, good day, folks. I hope everyone's having a wonderful day. Let's hop in the vehicle here and take a trip through Jacksonville, Florida. No, I mean Jacksonville, Alabama. Sorry. I know some of you got excited. You thought you was going to be going to Jacksonville. Thought you was going to be seeing some nice beaches. Now, this is Jacksonville, Alabama, which is located in Calhoun County. It's located towards the northeast section of the state. So for those of you that thought I was going to take you to Jacksonville, Florida, hey man, sorry. It is what it is. I'm broke. I'm cheap. I'm extra frugal. So y'all gonna have to set up for Jacksonville, Alabama. So with that being said, Jacksonville, Alabama is if you get a little bored here in Jacksonville, it's all good. I mean, you're only an hour and 18 minutes away from Birmingham, hour and 40 minutes from Atlanta, entertainment capital of the South. And it's also worth mentioning that it's 25 minutes outside Oxford and 21 minutes outside Anniston. I mean, Jacksonville, of course, is located in that general area of Alabama. But Jacksonville, Alabama, obviously is a lot different than Jacksonville, Florida, but it's all good. I mean, after all, it is the home of Jacksonville University. That is one of the largest employers in this general eastern central, whatever you want to call it, Alabama area. Now a F3 tornado has hit this area in the 19th of March of 2018, causing $42 million of damage. And apparently there were no fatalities. There were just 4 people that got injured. And ever since that tornado, the community has worked extremely hard and put tons of resources into rebuilding the university. And in this video, I will be driving through the university, just like I typically do in a city like this one that has a university. So and another good thing about Jacksonville, Alabama is obviously compared to Jacksonville, Florida, the cost of living here is tons cheaper. I mean, you can buy you a half decent house here for starting for at least. I mean, if you have at least $100,000, you can buy you a little something here. It ain't gonna be nothing fancy, nothing special, but at $100,000, you can get you something that comes with a decent sized lot, decent, safe neighborhood, all that wonderful stuff. If you're looking to rent, rent prices, man, they alright. You're looking at $560 to $1,080 a month for medium rent prices. Try to find that in Jacksonville, Florida. Ain't going to. That's what I thought. And you do have a 33-mile trail that's just outside the city. It's called the Chief Ladiga Trail. That's Ladiga Trail. And for crime, I mean, I don't know off the top of my head what the crime in Jacksonville, Florida is. I mean, I've heard it was fairly high. But the crime here in Jacksonville, Alabama is 64% above national average. And the property crime is 63% above national average. So when it comes to the crime here, it's not exactly, this ain't exactly a crime-free city. I can't even say that the crime here is low, because according to those numbers, the numbers would suggest that the crime here is higher, which I think is not a good thing for a city of this size. Oh, and another thing that's worth pointing out is Well, let me get to my other screen here first of all. Give me 1 second. All right, the population of Jacksonville, Alabama is 13,076 people. And the city has grown by a whopping 8% as of the 2020 census. Now, one thing which I think is also worth mentioning is back in 2000, the population used to be a little over 8,400 people. So from 2000 to 2010, so in 2010, according to Wikipedia, the population was 12,548 people. So from 2000 to 2010, the population of this city has grown by a whopping 49%, which I would say for most of Alabama is next to unheard of. Even in northern Alabama, that type of population growth is next to unheard of. So, congratulations to Jacksonville, Alabama. Now, let's see here, what else? We talked about crime. Let's look at some people let's look at some racial demographics here. Already, the racial demographics go as following: 71.3% white, 23.4% black, 1.4% Asian, 1.5% Hispanic. Now, I know some of you are still a bit bummed out that I didn't take you guys to Jacksonville, Florida, and instead my cheap ass brought you here to Jacksonville, Alabama, because it was a lot closer to where I was at previously, and I didn't feel like spending the gas to take you all the way to Jacksonville, Florida. So I know some of you are bummed out over that, but it's all good. I mean, you know, after all, I understand this ain't Florida. You don't have the palm trees and the beaches and the warmer weather. I get it, I got it. Instead, I brought you here. But, you know, Jacksonville, Alabama is not a bad city. It really isn't. In fact, I forgot to look at one more thing here. And give me 1 second, people. I want to get you guys in a better mood here. For those of you that are bummed out that you had to come here to Jacksonville, Alabama, as opposed to Jacksonville, Florida, I want to give you guys some more positive news. Now, I don't know exactly what the median home price in Jacksonville, Florida is, but the median home price in Jacksonville, Alabama is only $184,000. Which I know for a fact is a lot cheaper than Jacksonville, Florida. In fact, that's probably about a third of the price of what you would pay if you were in Jacksonville, Florida. I don't know for a fact, I'm just speculating. But I know for a fact that's a lot cheaper than what you would pay in Florida for housing. So, hopefully that will make some of you feel better about this trip to Jacksonville, Alabama. So, you know, it is what it is. Now, for those of you that got money to take yourself to Jacksonville, Florida, you know what? Do what you do. But for the rest of you that may not have the money to go to Jacksonville, Florida, and you had to rely on me to take you there, I mean, you know, you can always move here to Jacksonville, Alabama, and the money that you save on housing compared to living in Jacksonville, Florida, you can take some of that money, you can take some of that money and drive yourself over to Jacksonville, Florida, and have all the fun you want without having to pay the expenses of being a Jacksonville, Florida resident. Instead, you can be a resident of this beautiful, small city of Jacksonville, Alabama. I mean, you know what? It's like, hey, man, it's a win-win situation. I'm trying to help you guys out. I mean, I know right now it's still early spring, so the trees have not fully bloomed. The leaves have not fully grown on these trees yet. But just imagine driving down some of these roads, and just imagine during the fall time, the trees they turn colors. You get to see all different colored leaves and all that wonderful stuff. Just imagine it being, let's say, I don't know, let's fast forward to May. All these trees are going to be nice and green. So you'll have plenty of greenery to look at. Now, I understand. You know, some of you are going to be disappointed that you're not by the ocean like you would be if I would have took you guys to Jacksonville, Florida. But, you know, again, you can always, the money that you save by living here in Jacksonville, Alabama, that money that you save, you can take some of that money and take us up to Jacksonville, Florida. Or if you find that you don't got that kind of money, then, you can always drive, I want to say maybe, you can always drive over into, let me see here. Let me help you guys out. Jacksonville, Alabama to Orange Beach, Alabama.
Orange Beach is 5 hours, 32 minutes from Jacksonville by car in light traffic. Here are directions.
Well, Orange Beach, Alabama is 5 hours and 32 minutes, which I believe that's going to be a lot closer than going to Jacksonville, Florida. If you want to go to Jacksonville, Florida, that would be an extra hour. So, to be honest, that's not a whole lot farther. It's a little farther, though. Now, we're going to have a little bit of fun today. You know what? I'm going to go back and we're going to look at some stats for Jacksonville, Florida. God knows some of you are just disappointed. You're pissed off. You feel like you got duped on this trip because I brought you here to Jacksonville, Alabama, as opposed to Jacksonville, Florida. So, you know what? We're going to have a little bit of fun right here. Okay, the median home prices in Jacksonville are $280,000, which is $100,000 more than what you would pay here in Jacksonville, Alabama. Okay, let's check out the crime numbers here. Okay. Well, you know what? Jacksonville, Florida's crime numbers are actually a little lower than what they are here in Jacksonville, Alabama. So, you know what? Assuming that the data in Jacksonville, Florida is correct and the data in Jacksonville, Alabama is correct, the crime numbers in Jacksonville, Florida are actually lower than here. So, you know what? Again, my apologies. By the time I get done with this video, I'm going to owe you guys a freaking lunch. Because so far, I was speculating the housing prices would be 3 to 4 times as high as around here. And really, it's $100,000 more than around here, median home price. And the crime numbers in Jacksonville, Florida, for both violent and property, are lower compared to Jacksonville, Alabama. So, you know, my apologies to you people. And obviously, you got a whole bunch of other stuff going for yourself in Jacksonville, Florida too, in terms of entertainment. So, you know, my apologies to you folks. I spoke a little too soon. I should have done my research first. So my apologies. But housing prices here in Jacksonville, Alabama is cheaper than Jacksonville, Florida. And obviously, this is not a big city, as where Jacksonville, Florida is a major metropolitan city. So, you know, my apologies. That's all I gotta say. This is my apologies. But for real though, Jacksonville, Alabama, at least from the, you know, at least from my job around in this city, it does not appear to be a bad place to live. Now, yes, the crime here is higher than what it should be, as it is, unfortunately, in many parts of Alabama. But, you know, this city to me, you know, it doesn't appear to be a bad place to live. I mean, this is one of those type of cities where you might want to take a moment, speak to some of the locals, and maybe some of the locals who live here can tell you a few things about the city that people like myself will not know, because I'm not from this city. So that's all I gotta tell you folks. I mean, like I said, I apologize that I was unable to take you guys to Jacksonville, Florida. You got Jacksonville, Alabama instead, so forgive me. And I guess I'm gonna owe you guys, I guess I'm gonna owe a couple of you guys a lunch. So, alright folks, I'm gonna quit talking. I'm gonna let you guys watch the rest of the video. You guys know what to do by now. Subscribe to the channel, give me some thumbs up. And I'm gonna also take this opportunity to thank everyone that has been doing all the above, because without you guys I wouldn't have a channel. So as always, have a blessed one. See you on the next one.